check.
Bit of inside goss for the Facebook viewers.
They did if they were there. Yeah, it started 5 minutes ago.
Of our broadcasting lineup.
Yeah, you did get a bit of inside goss there, guys. Thanks for telling me we were live. No one said anything. I don't know why. My countdown said 6 minutes, and then I had a look, and it was like, oh, no, we've been live for 6 minutes. Anyway, welcome along, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and Facebook as well. 8.5 minutes. Highlights coming up next. So welcome along, guys. We're at Spa for this one with the F1 eSports with FNL1 eSports. I'm looking very forward to this one. Should be a dry race with a dry qualifying. We've got 19 drivers, almost a full grid, so we're going to bring some of the qualifying today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with everything. Hello, welcome guys. We've got highlights coming up next, then we're straight on to, we're going to actually do Q2, Q3, but here's everything from Hungary. If you missed the action last time out, get your teeth into this and sit back for the next 5 to 6 minutes. Wait for the lights. 3, 4, 5 red. And we're up and racing in a wet and stormy Hungary. It is now just a race of keep yourself alive as we race towards turn 1. Good start from Bot and his teammate Mike is trying to split the field. Inside, outside, everybody slowly tiptoeing into that first turn. Everybody on their very best behaviour, I must say. You see, I think AB Saints went a little bit wide at the back, but it was a great start in BP. Rockets to the front, and now it's the two Ferrari guys fighting for position at the podium. Ming's gone wide as well. He's got to recover. And I think Swatter had an issue down at turn 2. He went very wide in that position. Warrior Wasp is getting tense. Oh, I think he's touched. He did. He's touched Denos. Denos gone sliding around. He's been reset, luckily. And here comes Breeden and AB to get the overtake on him. But that's
not... keeps up. I estimate within 3 laps, they're all going to be on top of Mike. And he goes, Hawks around the outside. Tries to do something there, but that was never sort of going to be on.
Mike was really pushing him to the extremities of the half of the field, but Hemmick squished in between Renault and Lukey D. Oh, he's gone wide there, Andrew. On there side by side, and yeah, Hemmick had the traction, and he's now up one more spot. HRT, he's trying to block the run for Lukey as he darted back to the outside line. Thought someone was going off into the barrier, but it was just HRT aggressively defending this. So that every turn of the wheel now will be drying the circuit, and it's going to be a bit of a tag there. Swatter, he's tagged the back of Wardy Chill. We're on board with him, and Wardy tries to get back up to speed. He's got no one in behind at the moment that will collide with him, but no fault of his own. He just got sent along. The old punterino, as Jimmer would call it, and Swatter is in 7th, and he's wearing some heavy damage on the front wing too.
Some heavy damage, yeah. Well, he's probably now... Yeah, this could definitely... The ball, everyone's made a pit. Oh, it's a big hit there. Big hit. in the second sector, just on the end of the second sector.
And Hawks has come in again.
Hawks has come in again.
I didn't. Oh, he almost tagged. Almost tagged him. I don't know what he's decided to do that for.
What's he doing? He's gone on the soft. Gone on the soft. Wow. He must have seen a gap. He must have seen it.
I think you're right, Bambi. But this one should get a little bit crazy now as we get to the restart. Look how quick the Ferraris were off the line. Jumped BP there. And Mike right up there, 4 wide up into the first turn. Everybody's strangling for position. And this one could get chaos. And Hawks is up to 6. Schnell's dropped down 1. Mike's down into 5th now. He's right next to Wardy Chill. We've got some back markers in there. They'll be getting the blue flags. Bots is caught behind Kiwi. Kiwi's totally won out on that one. But BP, I thought he lost out. Those Ferraris were lightning fast. But he's gotten back into the front. But this man in the Red Bull, he's gained about 3-4 spots out of that one. And the Ferraris, big loss from Hungary. There's a lot of space. But he's touched him. I think Hawks might have lost some end plates there. He did on the left-hand side. That's going to be compromising his downforce a little bit in this technical section. He'll be needing it. But with those soft tyres, he might be able to just hold on.
Oh, can he hold it in on the inside? Yes, he does. He throws it down.
Surely he'll get this one here, Wardy. Look at that side-by-side. It's a pure drag race up into the first turn. And he's just going to get him. And I think Kiwi's been overtaken. No, he's darted back onto the inside. And Bots gets the up and under. And he's now chasing him down into 2. But Kiwi's got that inside line. Heavy on the brakes around the outside on the longer run. Inside for 3. It's the better line to have. And he does. He gets really there. He's on the quarter panel. And he dived hard on the brakes now. Will make it 2 wide through 2. Inside line. And they clang wheels again. I think Hawks might be able to jump him here too. He does. Hawks done it. Nothing yet. He did. They appear around the corner. Oh, he might go around the outside and get on the long way around him. He'll get the inside for 3. And there it is. The inevitable happened. He did touch him there, didn't he?
He did. He's got more damage now on the outside. That's big. That's severe damage now for Hawks.
Hawks has a habit of doing that.
Oh, well.
He did that last week as well.
And now Wardy Chill. He's all over the back of Hawks going into the chicane in the second sector.
And you can see, look at that damage. He's forward. He's bursting through. Here it is. And the overtake works for Wardy. He's in the top 5.
So Billy Hawks hasn't achieved anything from going on that soft tyre. It's all come to naught. He's back to square one. Yeah, and he's pitting now. He has no choice. He knows he's going to go backwards big time. He's only got
Wardy! He had the big slide on big time. And Schnell's just gobbled up that spot. But Wardy, wow, he was on the edge of grip there. He was putting on a bit of a... And once again, that checkered flag flying. And it'll be all his. A fantastic win. And he does a fastest lap at the last lap as well.
Of course.
He did that last week. He did it again on used mediums this week. Bots will come through and take 2nd. And Mike just in behind him in 3rd. Just got to get back to the stream. Hello, welcome back, guys. They were the highlights from round 5, but welcome along to this one. We're at Spa, the Belgium Grand Prix, round 6 here of this championship. We're in season number 6 as well. It's an iconic circuit, a long one. There are corners, 9 right, 10 to the left, and an average speed of 145 miles tonight. But here it is on your screen. 2 DRS zones for them. There's all the corners mapped out in front of you. There's actually about 100 meters of elevation change. And like a flat out for most of this track. So getting exit speed is going to be pivotal for winning this one tonight. Will it be BP? Will it be Mike? We will find out at the end of it. It's going to be a dry one. So don't be too afraid of seeing some crazy times on the board. It is a cloudy qualifying, but that is just qualifying. We should have a nice and dry race as well. But welcome along, Zen. You're here with me tonight as well.
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me. And be a brilliant race tonight on what personally I think is probably the best F1 circuit on the calendar.
It has to be the best circuit to race on, surely.
Yeah, I mean, in any category.
In any category. With this track does feature in the GT Pro Series as well, does it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it definitely does. We will be at some stage in the not too distant future probably doing an enduro on this track because it was pretty much made for that.
It definitely is. It's like I said, it's almost just over 7 kilometers long, so it's a long one. And yeah, a 6-hour, 12-hour, 3-hour race. I've done a few myself, so it definitely works. But we're here in Q2, and at the moment we've lost 4 of our guys. I'm just trying to think who they were because I wasn't quite keeping a good eye on it. But Kiwi's out at the moment. He's in the Red Bull, and he's trying to put together a pretty good lap at the moment. The track map still good, so I'm just waiting to see. But BP and Hawks, they got to be the favourite here tonight, surely. But the Ferraris are not too far off.
Yeah, the Ferraris actually look pretty good in practice, I must say. It was hard to know if the Mercedes boys were doing quali runs, as it was pretty obvious from the Ferrari guys that they were at some stage, but they were looking very good. And it'd be interesting, Mike and BP had a pretty epic battle in the F2s last night, so they could continue that tussle here tonight.
I want to see what Kiwi could put together. He's actually been coming from strength to strength, really. He's been doing all right. So Kiwi, I don't know, in seasons to come might be a force to be reckoned with. Let's see what he can do here, though.
Well, he's definitely had to carry that team in recent races because there's been some more driver movement within the Red Bull team. Unfortunately, Epic has retired from F1 at the age of 22, and Buschhoek has taken back his old seat at Red Bull. Sorry, there were a couple of other candidates, but it seemed that Buschhoek put his hand up and said, "Yeah, I will take that." So Buschhoek back in the Red Bull, and I think Kiwi's hoping that spread a bit of the load out between the two of them, because Buschhoek is we know he's pretty damn quick.
Damn right there, Major Dan. Hello. You've chucked my stream link in your stream. Well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, let's hope you don't have a crash this weekend. That'll be good for you. BP still saying still clear weather out there, and clear as in no rain coming. So no rain for quali. It does look very, very overcast as Breeding does his outlap. I think Wardy Chill's also on one too. So waiting to see the guys get out. Mike is exiting. I think I saw a Mercedes. I don't know if that was a Mercedes. Maybe it was Swatter in the Williams. I think it was. He's getting a little bit too excited. But HRT's out there, look at it. So the track's ramping up. 9.5 minutes to go. We're about to see some times put in, but it's going to be these two first, Wardy and Breeding. The rest got to do that outlap. Yep.
I think conditions are looking pretty optimal at the moment, and I think we're going to see some really quick laps in quick times in Q3.
It's also important to know the fastest lap they set in Q2. It's weird to say this because I haven't watched the Q2 qualifying in some time, and usually I would have seen at least 4 by now, this stage of the year, with F1 not being on. The quickest lap they set in Q2, and the tyre they were using, is the tyre they start on. So have a good look at the fitted tyre at the moment. Breeding's on the soft, Lukey D is on the soft, but Wardy is on the medium, so it looks like the Racing Point guys are swapping the strategy a little bit.
And interestingly, the two Ferraris, and here is Bottas on the soft tyre, and remember, Bottas was always at the, especially in season 5, never liked the soft tyre. So this is an interesting tactic by Ferrari.
It is. We don't usually see them swap strategy like that. Wardy's out. I don't know if he's had an accident.
Oh, yeah.
So he's done. So we've lost our first driver.
Ed Radillon,
eh? Well, Breeding, he's the only Racing Point still to go. He's about to put a time down. Let's see what it is. It's didn't tick over for me, so I don't know what's going on there.
It might have been the beginning of the or the end of the outlap, so that is their now hot lap that he's on.
Hopefully, Codemasters, you fix this by the time F1 2020 comes around. Paul Potts does a time, 1:44.6, and that takes him to the top of the leaderboards for now. Hawks is completing an outlap. Kiwi's on an outlap. Mike's coming through. He's just, where is he? Sector 2. So he's just hit the Camel straight. He's coming down through turns 5 and 6 now into 7. And he's using all the corners. No, sorry, he's all the way down the bottom of Puon and Campus. So he's coming up the back straight up towards Bus Stop. And let's see what he can do at the moment. Lucky D's on a 1:4.57, but I don't think that's going to keep him second for long because Mike is on his way. He's charging like a train. Number 21, here he comes. Cutting the curve nicely, get on the power. There was a wet one last night. And a few of the guys got the back end flicking out, but Mike, he goes third. Lucky D did stay ahead. So
Yeah,
he was on the mediums too, just to remember that. Ming's a 1:4.64. And Kiwi, where is he? Coming out to Puon now. And he's on the mediums as well. So the medium looks like it's a favour tie to begin on at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is a huge delta change to the soft and the medium, but the soft will, won't last long at all, especially, with the full fuel load. Because the boys run at 50%, and we've said this a couple of times before, but for our new viewers, I'll just go over it again. In real life, it favours you to go on the softer tyre, make the break, and try and find a window to pit into without getting caught in traffic. But because we run at 50%, you don't have enough time to create that window. So it's actually better to start on the harder of the optimal compounds, in this situation the medium, and try and stretch that gap out, because what you want to do is when you pit, you want to come inside a window that allows you to get on your outlap and make haste. But if you get caught in traffic by pitting too early, then you'll be stuck in the midfield and you can lose huge amount of time to the guys up ahead.
That's right. Kiwi slotted himself into third. He does a 1:45.992. Get just ahead of Mike with a 1:45.994. So, but I don't think they'll be too worried about that. We are losing the slowest 5 out of this. So Wardy is our first to be dropped. So at the moment, HRT, Bushchook and Major Dan are in that drop zone. Let's see what they can put together. HRT's on that soft tyre, so he's sees himself at risk of dropping, so he's put on that quicker tyre. Let's see what he can do on this lap as he comes through Radion now. Car bottoms out. Big weight shift change too as you sort of hit the elevation and then hit the back top of the Radion. It's a lot of forces going through the car. I don't know if HRT is going to continue this lap because it looks like he's sort of slowed down a bit.
He's missed that apex there as well. Not really an ideal first sector.
I don't think he's attacking, if I'm honest.
Let's see what his ERS is at. Only 2. Yeah, he's probably conserving, harvesting a bit, and going to have another crack. But as I told you, you don't really want to. If you need to use those soft tyres twice, you are going to be heavily compromised in the race. Yeah,
well, he's pretty much done this lap. Major Dan's out there doing a flyer at the moment. I think that's his out lap. And Hawks has slotted himself into second with a 1:45.548 on the medium tyre. So not surprising that he's done a time like that. We're waiting to see what BP can do. Let's watch this guy. He's also on the medium tyre. So no split strategy at the Silver Arrows yet. And welcome, Antonio. What's cracking, my friend? It's good to have you along. We're we don't do qualifying very often, so welcome along. Hopefully, if you guys enjoy this, we will do it more often, so you need to let us know if you like qualifying or if you just like the race. But if you are watching on replay, time codes later on for the shortcuts to the bits you want to watch will be put in the description below.
Purple sector for BP in sector 2 there on that lap. He's coming in now into the bus stop chicane.
This should be good for him here. Thank you very much, Antonio. Let's see what BP does. He's just looking. He'll probably be in the 1:45s. He's just in the 1:40s there. Coming up to the start. This could actually be close to being a quick time.
And it is.
And yeah, not surprising. A 1:4.42. Fastest out there, beating the soft tyre run of Bots. I think he was on the softs. And yeah, medium tyre run there done for BP. He's gone fastest. And at the moment, safe into Q3. So I need to write down these tyres.
Yeah, so now at the moment, 10 out of the soft runners, we've got Bots in second, Lukey D and Breeden recording a lap time there of 1 minute 47.776 on a soft as well. But as you can see, Breeden's done 3 laps on that tyre, so if I was him, I would roll the dice and chuck on a set of mediums and see how I go.
Exactly. It's not a smaller field because we're in Q2, obviously 15 drivers, 14 drivers here. We've only got 19 tonight, so we've got one. We're only missing one, so that's a pretty good effort. But we will lose the 4 slowest out of this. And
yeah, I think we lost 15th because I think that was Banana Hammock. He crashed in at the end of or near the end of Q1.
That's right. Angelo Vasquez has hit the like button. Thank you very much, Angelo, as we watch Andrew HRT come to the line. It's only 10th quickest, and he is on that drop line right in the drop zone because we've still got Schnell, Major Dan, and Breeding to put another time down. Schnell's coming through in the Alfa Romeo. Through Pouon now. He's looking pretty quick on that soft tyre. I think this is his out lap, so we'll have to wait for another lap for his time to come up. But at least Andrew at the moment, he got through, but I don't know how many laps he did on the soft because like you said, the more laps you do, the more compromised you are. But it's
that's right.
Pretty quiet at the moment. BP's out there on a medium still. I think maybe it's his in lap.
Oh, Major Dan, what's happened to him?
Oh, he's just had an accident because I was just looking at him. I think he's done.
Yeah, he looks like he's done. So Schnell now coming through the bus stop. Can he now sneak into the top 10, displacing Andrew?
I think this is his out lap. It is. He'll start his quick time now.
Oh, he started, yeah. Well, he's cutting it short there. 26 seconds left on the clock as he crosses the line.
Well, anyway, it'll count. Schnell does it. Let's ride on board with him. And this is the run down towards Eau Rouge at the bottom. And then hit the top at Radion. Oh, he's got the slide on.
Oh,
Big
no! And he really went for it there. He really gave it everything. He was putting everything into that. And, El Rouge bit him on the butt.
It did.
Literally.
It did. Let's have a look. Let's see what happened. Like you said, he just got that lap in. He had 26 seconds coming down to Eau Rouge. And we run on board and watch the car as the car gets all this force put on it. He hits the top of the hill and the car just loses all of that downforce as he apexes over the crest. Loses the weight.
He was already losing the rear end as he's come through Eau Rouge down the bottom. And he's already losing the rear end before he's even reached Radillon, and after that he's just purely a passenger.
And yes, he was indeed. And yeah, that's done him there. So,
wow,
unlucky. So that will mean we've lost Major Dan, Breeden, Schnell and Wardy in Q2. And there's your top 10 going into Q3. And it's now a sprint to the podium. Will it be BP on top? Bots is looking close. Hawks, though, might be able to tip the championship leader off the top. We'll go over the points in a second. But, it's looking very tasty. Mike, though, doesn't seem to have the same pace that he's used to. But maybe that was just him sandbagging in Q2.
Yeah, I don't think that any of the really fast guys would have... Though BP's time on that medium looked like he pushed pretty well, But definitely, like most of those guys would be, putting in a benchmark, seeing what the rest of the field was doing, and then probably sitting back and going, okay, we're in. We don't need to put another lap in. We'll save some tyres. Yeah,
he did do it on the medium, 1:45.994. Just 1/1000 slower than Kiwi's time. So those two are tightly contested. And Lukey D in the top 5. 4th place there. That's pretty decent. He will start on the soft tyre. So will Bots, which is interesting. So a different strategy. They mixed it up at at Ferrari rather.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all going to come down to where they slot now on the grid. Both Ferraris will be wanting to get at least one of them on that front row. and ideally bots, and seeing if he can make that soft tyre work, because he's going to have to bolt, and he's like I said, he needs to create a gap, and he needs to bolt. So if he doesn't get onto it straight away, he will be compromised. I would say probably 7 laps would be absolutely stretching it on that soft tyre here today.
And there's the points on your screen. You can see BP's had a string of wins. He needs to make this 6 in a row. He's hit his milestone. Will he make it 6? There he is on top of the drivers, 130 points to Bots' 87. Mike hasn't been able to defend his last season's championship win. He's only on 63. Hawks is there on 45. And Wardy, he's only 3 behind. He might be able to leapfrog the Mercedes driver. You never know. Mercedes, though, only 25 ahead of Ferrari in the Constructors. It's still all to play for at the very tippy top. But Red Bull Racing Point also very tightly contested. And then it's Williams. They're doing really well. 28-10 ahead of their closest rival. But this is Q3, and the boys are out very quickly because it's a long lap. So they need to get this in and done pretty fast. But the Ferrari boys, they're just happy to sit there and wait.
Yeah, definitely. But we got now, the 2 Mercs, in close formation now. BP behind Hawks. Could this be a bit of, toe, getting a toe?
Possibly.
Slingshot?
Possibly.
Because they bolted from the gate pretty early, once
they're the first out there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone ahead of them. Looking at the mini-map.
BP's let Hawks go now. He's opened the gap, so I think BP's gonna, do his own thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hawks has taken off like a shot. I think Lukey D's the only other one in front of him. He is. So Lukey D will be the first to start his lap, and the Haas driver looking pretty strong in Q2. So we're expecting some interesting things from him here. He does have that Ferrari power unit, so he's definitely got the pace behind him.
Yeah, Lukey hasn't had much luck this season, but he's definitely capable of better things, better results than he's had, that's for sure.
He gets through turn 1 okay. The back end looked like it was going to swing out there, but he catches it. Here he goes into a Rouge and Radion. How does he handle it? Nice and neatly. Look at that. That car's looking well set up as it takes on all the forces. This is Crazy Kiwi in the Red Bull. I think he's splitting the Mercedes drivers. I think Hawks is just ahead down the Camel straight, and he's got his DRS wide open. Let's see what kind of braking hard there for turn 5. I think he did get a purple sector in the first one, so he's looking good. BP just in behind. He's not too far behind him actually. So BP's closed that gap.
Purple's first sector for BP, that's why. And you know what, if you look at this closely, if Kiwi doesn't hold him up in this middle sector, he's going to get a great toe going into Blanchimont.
Yeah, he definitely will. Kiwi did get in the middle of them, and we thought maybe Hawks was going to pull BP along, but it looks like it will be Kiwi, because he's really, really close. I don't think the only place he needs to be careful, the aero wash, is...
Well, he's just far enough to avoid that at this stage. Savalot here, and we come now onto the Blanchimont Straight.
Here we go.
Really straight. But yeah, I think he's just going to get a little bit. He's purple's the second sector as well, but of course he's purpling because no one set a time yet. But
well, he's getting a few Ks quicker as Lukey D goes the fastest, 1:46. Then it's going to be Kiwi. Let's see what time he puts together. Hawks has done a 1:45. Kiwi next, and he goes second. And then it's BP on top with a 1:44, and he's done a very good job with that toe. And I was having a look at his kilometres per hour down the back straight, and he was just a few Ks quicker than
just
than
a few Ks, yeah.
That's all it was. Maybe 1 or 2. It wasn't much, but it was enough to put him in the lead.
Well, he had a stellar. That sector 2 was remarkable. Even though it went purple, but I could tell he caught Kiwi quite a bit. Yeah, especially through Buon, and then the 2 chicanes at Campus. And he was right up there, man. He was, really hustling that Merc.
Well, that's the Ferrari's turn to shine. They're going to put a time down. Mike is ahead of Bots at the moment. So waiting to see what kind of times these guys can put together. I must say that the speed, though, of Mike, I think he's running less wing because he was running even faster than BP. Here he comes. Oh, he goes second quickest, a 1:45.043. Still not in the 44s.
You're right, though. He got a purple third sector, though, Mike. So he's definitely got some top-end advantage over the Merc in BP, and probably why we know BP likes a lot of downforce, so that probably explains why he had such a great sector too.
Yes, and Bots does a second fastest, 1:44.977, so he's the second driver into the 1:44s. But yeah, Mike's speed down that back straight quicker again over BP, and like Bots was letting us know last night, he is a fan of the high wing, so that is probably going to slow him down.
Well, traditionally Spa's always been a relatively low downforce configuration, not Monza low downforce, but leaning towards this low downforce. But Red Bull, in real life have proven that a good chassis with a good aero through this area here, the Puon and all this, the middle sector 2, can actually yield great lap times.
Definitely. And Raikkonen's a god. He's back for his second week in a row. Good to have you tuning in, buddy. We are doing well ourselves. We're looking forward to this one. Just the end of Q3 right now. And we're just watching Ming. He's got a bit of traffic to get through, but they're getting out of the way nice and neatly. So let's see what Ming can do. He's down there in 10th place, and he's hoping to split the field. Lukey D's out. Has he had an accident?
D's out.
Well, there you go. Ming.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bit of it. Wasn't a great entry into that last segment there for Ming. It looked a little slow as he tried. I think he was fighting some understeer as we rode on board with him. But here he goes down the Blanchimont straight up to the bus stop. And braking hard at the 100-metre marker. He'll cut the inside curb. Second. No, he's gone back in.
Oh, he's ordered.
Well, he doesn't have a long time left to put a time down.
He must have fueled very low and he the lap up. That's my only explanation.
Antonio is anxious to see a nice race once again. I'm sure we will. It's a full grid, so turn 1 chaos, probably likely, but these guys are pretty well behaved. They did it in the wet last week at Hungary. Sure in the dry they'll be able to do it even better. But it's a very busy pit lane right now as we wait for some of the drivers to refuel. Hawks is coming back out for another shot, so he wants a crack at that top spot. He's currently in 4th place. He wants to get up closer to his teammate, who's at the moment got the provisional pole.
Yeah, well, Hawks definitely wants to take that second position on the front row to, at the very least, act as a shield for BP, because I think you're right with them. Definitely Mike and to a certain extent Bots could be also running quite a low downforce configuration, and we've also talked about the rake angle as well affecting top speed. But it's very important for Bots to hold that front row himself, because he is on that soft tyre when this race starts.
You're right. Yeah, let's have a look. That is the difference at the moment to BP's time. As you can see, Bot's the closest driver. It's still 8/10 away, so there's still time to be found all through the field. Hawks is 1.1 seconds off, so he needs to put together a nice lap. I don't think he's got anyone around him to sort of give him that extra special tow, but he'll just be attacking the corners and going flat out over all 7Ks of this circuit, or 19 corners if he can possibly keep it up for that long.
Bots and BP just exited the pits, so they're going to do their final run now on their outlap. But Mike, Mike's making his move now. Being a little bit, also Fly Swatter just cut him off in the pit lane there, but Fly Swatter just got ahead of Mike as they come down into El Rouge. So be interesting what Mike does now, because he's under the time here. If you look at Mike now, we've got 2 minutes and 5. He's got to get around and cross that line before that timer goes down. And but yet he wants to leave a gap between him and Swatter. And Swatter is in the same position here. So it's not in Swatter's best idea to let Mike go, but he will. Okay, so Swatter's let Mike go, but both these boys have to get a move on because they need to cross that line, you know, with time remaining to put down a legitimate lap.
Hawks is attacking the circuit as we're riding on board with him. He's had a beautiful first sector. Coming into the second now. He's coming up towards No Name. And at the moment he's looking good. I haven't seen any purples flash up on his screen though, so he's still got time to make up through No Name there. Right up on the curbing into Puon. Let's see how he attacks this. There's traffic coming up. You can see those yellow flags out, but look at him. He's still on the power using all the aero available to him. That is Mike. Bots out of the way on the apex too. Awkward bit of spot, but Hawks doesn't let it.
Oh, he's got a bit wide.
Here he goes. He needs to get this right.
Purple middle sector.
That house has been there for a long time, by the way, on the exit of Launchermont. Bots is out. I don't know what's happened to him, but he won't be able to finish this session. BP, though, still the fastest.
Needs to get this car nicely turned in early, tucked in on this bus stop chicane, which he does nicely. Keep the arse end tight. He goes in, get on the power. This is going to be good. This could threaten BP.
Oh, close. But no cigar for Hawks. A 144.7. Still 5.5 tenths off.
So Mike's crossed the line. So is Fly Swatter. So they're now on their hot laps right now. So is Crazy Kiwi. So is Bushhook. And Bushhook is pretty close behind Kiwi. Ming is finishing his hot lap now.
Yes, it is. The time has ticked down. The checkered flag is out. Bots takes the checkered flag as he's the first one out. But Ming needs to put a time down. Chook's out of the session. I think he's had an accident.
That must have been a rattle on as well.
Oh, it's catching up a lot of people. But here goes Ming. Let's see what he can put together. He's going to be 8th quickest as he gets that checkered flag. So at the moment, BP's got provisional pole. Hawks
so we've got Mike. Mike will be the first one to cross the line now.
So Bots has taken that checkered flag. He can't improve, but Mike can. So can Kiwi. That didn't look great, but that might be okay. Might be able to keep the speed through there. Powering hard on the exit. Coming up through the gears now at 7th gear, 316 kilometres an hour, up into 8th.
He went purple in middle sector too.
He's hit 322, 23 kilometres an hour, 25 before hitting the brakes hard at the bus stop. And he's done what he needed to do. He'll cut nice and clean through there. Up and powering towards the start finish. It's second.
He splits him.
144.665 for Mike. Kiwi is next to run in the Red Bull. Can he do anything about it? Will he get above top 5? Here he goes, and it's going to be tight. Oh, I think he did it.
Oh, I think he did it. I think he got himself in the third, I think.
Second for Kiwi.
Second for Kiwi. Oh, my word.
Well done, sir.
Wow, he puts the Red Bull on the front row.
Yes, he does, next to the Mercedes. That's what I was talking about in qualifying. He's come from strength to strength, and he's starting to show his true colours at the end of this season. I think season 7 he might be up there on the drivers leaderboard.
I honestly did not see that coming.
Well, let's have a quick look at the points if you haven't seen them already. We'll get them up on the screen in front of your faces. There they are, like you can see. Look at that BP. A splash of wins from first round to 5th. Can he do it in the 6th? But there it is. Bots and Mike still 2nd and 4th at the moment on the drivers. And Hawks, he needs to put it together a few better finishes. Can he do that today? Driver standings. BP's way out in front, 130. He can secure it today. Then Bots is ahead of Mike, who was the defending champion. But Hawks and Wardy chill. Only 3 points adrift, so anything can happen between those two. And then the constructors, very close indeed. Only 25 points at the top. And Red Bull and Racing Point, there's not a lot between them. And Williams and Alpha and Renault it's still all to play for. McLaren in that fight as well. And AlphaTauri, we haven't seen them show up, so they haven't scored any points. But will they get some today here in Spa? Hopefully. We're about to see the formation lap get underway, so welcome along. And this is round 6 of the FNL1 eSports F1 Championship.
Going to be a rock and roll race today, and I think BP, I haven't done, which I will do at some stage during this race, but BP has a really good chance of wrapping up the championship today.
Certainly does. He certainly does. You saw him there with 130 points, and Spa's ready for us. It's a nice clear day, and we should expect the best from this circuit. Here it is on your screen, all mapped out for you, all 7.00 kilometres. The DRS zones for you. The Kemmel Straight's going to be very important for overtakes in turn 5. And there are the corners, all 19 of them. 9 to the right, and then 10 go left. So let's see who's the fastest at the end of today's 50% Grand Prix. Formation lap's underway, and I'm very excited to watch this one. I know you guys at home are too, so don't go anywhere. We've got very, very tasty race coming your way. Here they are. BP leads the field in the formation lap. Now, what is the key? What do you have to remind yourself running up into the first turn, because it squeezes a little bit? And,
yeah, it definitely does. Yeah,
it's sort of a place where it's not really for overtakes on the first lap.
Well, there's a lot of runoff area which you can take if you need to, and the game won't ping you on the first lap for doing so. But your traction out of there is heavily compromised, and really you don't want to get in a position where you're side by side as you're about to enter El Rouge. That is probably a bad thing to do on lap 1.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There might be some what am I trying to say? There might be some people that don't make it through the first lap, because we've seen a Rouge Radio on that combo has already picked up a few people in qualifying, and with cold tyres and cold brakes and everything, that it might even be more severe on the first lap. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that sector on that first lap. But there's always something happen here at Spa. Sometimes it's the weather, sometimes it's the race, sometimes it's both. I've seen it snow in a World Endurance Championship race here. Who knows what happens today?
Yeah, it does. It does have its own microclimate, doesn't it, Spa? That's probably why we love it so much, So the boys now getting, I guess they're going into Blanchimont. They'd be probably having the engines leaned down, because I'd say that a lot of these fast guys are running really tight on fuel, and this track you need to burn quite a bit of fuel to keep your pace up. So in this formation lap, the boys will probably be running it at very, very lean, so they've got to remember to switch that back up for the start and get their ERS all sorted, make sure that they're on the right setting for the start, because right about as they enter into here now, BP will be getting controlled by the AI of the game, and the game sets the grids. So here we go, and it looks like the entire field has completed the formation lap, which is
very rare.
Very rare. Congratulations, boys.
That is a hard task. Sometimes the game's a bit cruel with letting you go through, but they've done it. Well done. All right, here we go. We're setting the grid. Everybody's getting into their spots. BP's up the front row, and we're waiting for the get go. There it is. There's the lights. 5 lights here at Spa, and it's lights out in racing for round 6 of the FNL1 F1 Championship. And already BP's got a good lead, but Mike wants to get up in amongst it all as we go to the turn 1, and the course strangles the cars to make the corner, and they've all done the right hand turn very well indeed. Major Dan's fallen a little bit as Breeding gets ahead of him. Coming up to Radion and Eau Rouge now, and I'm expecting maybe a few to fall out of this one, but let's watch what happens. The guys, looks like they're all keeping it together, and I think we've got all 19 through. BP though up the very front now. He's got Kiwi chasing him down, and Mike in that slipstream, and the other Ferrari doing the same thing, and Hawks is the rear gunner at the moment. He's just got to try and make his way through the crowd, but a good start from the whole field.
Bot's definitely squeezed him a little bit in turn 1 and got a run on him, and Hawkstead decided to do the smart thing and just lift off and but he's having a go now at Bot's. Oh, Mike, he's having a go at Mike now. Oh!
He's going to do it. I think he's going to be around the outside of Pooh on this. Could be a lift off from Mike. He hasn't let off.
Oh!
And he's pulled through. A beautiful move. No room at all. Hawks has not given up though.
No. He shuts the door on him though, Mike does.
That's some good racing early on. So that is that's a good sign of things to come here early on. Lap 1 of 22. It doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot of time for things to happen.
Hawks now well in the draft. No DRS this early in the race, but he's well and truly right up the diffuser of that Ferrari.
Yeah, Hawks needs to decide something here. He's going to duck in, duck out. Mike's going to pick his line here into the braking zone. These guys are going to come together. The switchover happens a lot at the bus stop on the exit. Does Hawks get the power down quicker? But that slippery Ferrari's done the work it needs to do, and it's kept the lead for now. And at the moment, the race for 4th rages on. In behind, the rest of the field are doing their thing one by one. It's nice to see we've got a full field of drivers getting through. Breeden runs a little bit wide, and Hammock gets it up the inside of him. So Breeden falling through the order as we speak. And Warrior Wasp at the moment has got Major Dan on his tail, who said earlier on he doesn't want to crash. So hopefully he can get through this race and put on a bit of a fight. He's going to go for the overtake at the crest of the hill. Saints is out of the session. I don't know what's happened.
Well, we've had fly spotters come into the pits for a nose change, and Hawks is retired.
Oh,
Hawks is retired.
Where is he? We were on board with Major Dan. Where did he? Oh, how did he go over there?
Unbelievable.
How did he end up over there?
Wow, it must have been under braking, yeah, with Mike or with Bot. I don't know who he was. It was Mike, wasn't he? But that's called out a virtual safety car now.
Yeah, Saints had a crash too. So, well, the virtual safety car was out, but I don't know who called it. It was either
it
Saints
could have been
or
AB Saints, because I think AB Saints lost it at Radillon at the top, which is going to be a common theme tonight. But even prior to that, Swatter had to make a pit stop for a nose change. He had some damage on his right end plate, so he's come onto hard tyres. He probably could go till the end on those hard tyres, but we'll just have to see. But I think he'd be gaming on another safety car to come later on in the race where he can get back onto some faster rubber. But Hawks out, that's going to
early on.
Yeah, and we can see here that as we return back to racing now, Mike has dropped out to 5th. So I'm wondering if there was contact here with those two guys, and it's resulted in Hawks off. I can't confirm this because we can't replay it on this game, but Mike now fighting the Bushchook, the newly promoted driver in the Red Bull.
He certainly is. He's trying to give him some. He's right up his gearbox as we speak, but Bushchook looks a lot quicker. I don't know where Mike is losing out here. He's got his ERS set to 4 as we hit the top of the hill. Oh, he got a bit of a wiggle on. Oh, I thought he got through netcode probably. Out in my mouth then. I thought he was gone. Schnell's gone.
Schnell also at the Radillon, so that happened as well, and that will bring another virtual safety car out.
Major Dan's done the same thing. He's hit his teammate at the top under the virtual safety car. I was on board with Schnell, and yep, Major Dan's gone.
Not a good time to be the F1 principal of Alfa Romeo.
No, not at all.
Oh my God.
We're only on lap 3, guys. You need to settle down. There they are, those stranded Alphas.
Golden rule. Don't crash into your teammate. Golden rule number 2, don't crash at the same time when your teammate does.
No. And they're at the same spot, so yes, it's just getting them called out. The lift and change in weight shifting over the top. It's tricky to deal with sometimes, but yeah, you need to be alert.
It's the full fuel load that's catching them out. Now, until they burn off some fuel, I think a couple of these guys have got their cars set a little bit too low, and they're bottoming out through the bottom of El Rouge. And what happens when that does is you lose grip in the rear end because you're sliding on pretty much on your diffuser. And under heavy fuel loads, I think it's catching a few of the boys out.
It has already. We've lost 4 of the 19. We're down to 15 drivers. There's still plenty of action to be had. And we're watching Breeden take on Denos, who's just in behind the racing point as we speak. 2 tenths to gap.
Mike's pitting and he has damage on his front wing, so there must be contact with him and Hawks.
There must have been. That's not good for his championship defence. He hasn't really done much of that this season, unfortunately for him. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. This is on board with Lukey D. He's close to Wardy, and you can see just how much they have to deal with over the top. Hawks is out. Wardy Chill is going to be giving Lukey D a bit of a pull along. He's got his DRS, but he's not using it. He's flashing there. Looks like he's got too much going on. He forgot to use the DRS. That would have helped Lukey D go along a little bit. He had his ERS to 5 as well, so he's trying to pull in the racing point as we speak. 6th and 7th. Should go to the tyres as well. This is the tyre situation. Soft tyres for Lukey D, so he's got the better tyre, but that tyre won't last long.
No, but they've had a bit, those 2 virtual safety cars, even though they weren't long, they're going to help a little bit, because they weren't at full throttle when they were under the virtual safety car, so they could eke a little bit more life out of these tyres. But, so far, all the people that have come unstuck have been medium tyre runners, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now, BP has stretched out a bit of a gap to Bots. Bots has also managed to get Kiwi off his tail, at least out of the DRS zone, and Bushchook is staying in there, so consolidating 4th spot. And Ming, well, I think he's surprised. He's in 5th place, doing really, really well. He's got Wardy Chill behind him, who has had a stellar drive because Wardy crashed out in Q2, I think it was, or Q3. He was pretty far back at the grid, so he's had a splendid drive to come up in 6th place, so keep an eye on him, and he looks like he's got a little bit more pace than Ming so far.
There's a good little scrap forming for the top 10 as attacks caught to both Wasp and Banana Hammock, and as Wasp was trying to get around Banana in that what now is Alpha Tori, but he hasn't been able to have the confidence to go for the overtake. As attack, he's running out of room. Wasp was doing some blocking down the bottom of the hill. As we come across the top, he even had the lift through this. As attack was very, very, very dangerously close and a lot faster, but he might be able to pull back a bit of time with his DRS. Wasp is doing the same thing on Banana, under braking into turn 5. He's going to get this done. Move done. Beautiful little move from Warrior Wasp.
But Azza had so much more drive through El Rouge and put Warrior so quickly that he had to lift. He had no choice, otherwise we could have potentially had another 2 DNFs right there and there.
You're not wrong. It was very close to being that again, but he did the right thing and backed out of it. So he's kept himself in this battle, and it looks like this one could rage on for some time because they're quite close to each other at the moment. Banana Hammock just in behind Wasp now. They're both on the medium. As attacks on that soft. Mike's getting his way through the field. He's just gotten Denos down in 11th place. So Mike down in 11th at the moment.
And interestingly, Mike pitted to fix the front wing, but he's also changed to the soft tyre. This is an interesting tactic. So he's obviously going to go some kind of a 2-stopper scenario here where he'll probably go really, really hard on that medium and push it really hard at the end there. But I'm a little bit surprised he went straight on the soft.
As the sack through Blanchimont now. He's nice and close behind Banana. On the brakes hard. He did get a lot closer to the front end of that AlphaTauri, but it wasn't to be. The Williams driver staying in 10th place. Banana, look at the drive he gets through there. And that's going to be a big advantage for him here in defending his spot.
I think he needs to pace himself here, leave a bit of a gap because he has such a run on him. See, he's too close now and he's going to get affected through El Rouge and rattle on him. You can't do anything with this being this close. You need to time your run here.
Here he goes. Might have worked out for him. The gap 2 tenths. He's going to have DRS on him. Hammocks flicking left and right. He's being squeezed off the track.
Squeezed hard.
And down the Kemmel straight. That DRS has worked super effective for him, and he's now 9th place. Banana down in 10th.
Az has done extremely well there, dude. He got completely squeezed, pushed hard, borderline legal, and we've had another retirement. Andrew HRT has gone off somewhere. And also, that's another victim of Radon.
Radon, yeah, I can see him on the map.
Oh, my word.
So the VSC called out. It'll let them clear it up, but it gives them a bit of a breather for a little bit.
But definitely a beautiful move there by Azza. You know, he went around the outside, held his line, and, you know, after with a lot of pressure, and he had Warrior Wasp McLaren up ahead of him, so he had to time his braking pretty spot on to make that stick.
Look at that gap BP's pulled out already. It was about 7 seconds. It's grown to 9 under the VSC, but that's a massive gap. Go back to... Oh, Ming! He got spun around at Blanchimont. Oh. He collected it up. He's hit one of the advertising barriers, but under the restart, I don't know if Wardy or Lukey actually helped him along there, but yeah, Ming, he was up into 4th place. And he's
could he have touched the
pits.
curb at Blanchimont at turn 18, do you reckon, inside Apex?
Let's have a look at the replay here. We're watching Water Chill, and it was just ahead of him. Oh, he did hit the curb. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So
very easy to do.
He's ended his race. He's now in the pit lane. So welcome back, guys, if you are watching. My name's Josh. I've got Zen with me in the commentary booth. We're broadcasting the FNL1 eSports Round 6 F1 Championship race here at Spa on Demo 1 Garage. It's good to have you with us for this one. And at the moment, BP's leading. Bots is in second, but Kiwi, he's done really well in third right now. He's stuck with them. As attacks move forward, he's got ahead of Wasp on the Camel Straight, coming into turn 5. And
nice move.
He's done what he needs to do into that second sector.
Well, definitely, Az is doing really well here today in that Williams, and usually we become familiar with FlySwatter carrying the Williams banner forward, but FlySwatter, you know, a little bit struggling here today at Spa, but I tell you now, you know, Az is doing an extremely great job, some great moves, great outbraking maneuvers. He's doing a real good job for that Williams.
And here comes Mike and Banana at Puon. He just lets him go. So Mike, the superior driver there, and he's up into 9th place. And thank you, Asirif, for the like button, hitting the like button there. Thank you very much for your support tonight so far. And everyone else has done that so far, and everyone that joins us each and every week. Appreciate it. And at the moment, yeah, Mike, he had a coming together, we think, with Hawks, and he had to go and get a new front wing. That's why he's so far down the order. But that's all just guessing at the moment, because we don't really know how he got there.
I'm sure we will find out, and no doubt we will get the footage, inboard footage of that, and we will post it on our Facebook to let our viewers know what happened. Yes,
we will. Ming is on a comeback now after touching that inside curve there at Blanchimont. He's got Denos in his crosshairs. He's got him locked in now. And as he goes for the shot, he gets it done up the inside. Nice clean move. And Ming can work on recovering his position now. He's up into 12th, and he's on the hard tyre, so he went in and got the hard. So he'll run to the end from here.
Yep, definitely Ming can go to the end. And again, Ming now in close proximity to one of his arch rivals, FlySwatter.
What up?
It's like, these guys are like magnets. Every race, there's a moment where these guys are close to each other.
Hello, Alex. How are you going today, sir? Hope if you enjoy F1, you've come to the right place, my friend. And let's see what Ming can do down the Camel. Not enough to get the overtake just yet. Swatter just edged him out. So this one's going to keep raging on. They're both on the hard tyre too, so an interesting equal battle about to form on this iconic Spa.
Interestingly, Kiwi and Bushchook have dropped off a little bit. They've both lost a second, roughly, to Bots, and Wardy Chill is all over the back now of Bushchook. I'm wondering if the Red Bulls are struggling a little bit with the medium tyre, which is a little bit strange, but they've both dropped off a little bit off the pace.
You're right, Wardy Chill is close, 3/10 the gap as they break into the banana. Why am I calling it banana? Stop. It's the bus stop. Don't know where that came from. But welcome along, guys, and thanks for the follow there. Wardy Chill, though, he's not content with 5th. He wants 4th place. Currently, Bushchook is occupying that position. The gap 4/10 is chasing him now up towards Rouge and Radion. We've had a few victims here tonight early on, but these guys, they get through this time. Wardy's going to have that slipstream NDRS. Was he close enough? Sure he was. But the virtual safety car was called before
virtual
he got to
safety
use
car,
it.
yeah.
What happened there? HRT?
Severe, Banana Hammock and Swatter had a big accident here somewhere, but they managed to both go in the pits. But it came up on the screen. Banana Hammock was given a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Fly Swatter. So, yeah, you know, something must have happened there. They must have touched.
Well, it is a no contest for BP at the moment. 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Bot's his closest rival. Kiwi's done well. He's maintained third right now. And Wardy Chill is still looking to move forward, but that virtual safety car came at the wrong time.
No, didn't it ever?
And we go back to green racing as we hit campus now. And Chook was ready for that. So was Wardy, though.
So I think Wardy needs to set him up now through Blanchemont, hold him, go through the bus stop, go through turn 1, and then really make the move out of Radalon on that back straight in the second DRS zone. That's his best bet from here.
Yeah, I wish I could pronounce that corner name.
La Source, the turn 1, or which one?
16.
Oh, yeah.
The one after Stavel.
Yeah, don't even bother. We'll just call it CPF.
Yeah, CPF. That's good enough. Botts has fallen to third as he's gone into the pit lane, so that's what's going on there. Mike is up to 7th now. He's on that soft tyre though, so he will have to come back in. So he's working his way up the field. He's just off Azatak's rear tail, and Azatak slices off into the pit lane. Botts is coming out.
Chill.
Botts might just get ahead of his teammate here. He will. Atlas Source. He does, he beats him. So Mike's all on his own from here on in, pretty much.
Wardy Chill around the outside, and you'll get that move done.
Nicely done. Bush Chook left in awe as Wardy gets a nice clean move around the outside up into turn 5. And
yeah, I think definitely the Red Bulls seem to be at this stage of their tyre stint are struggling more than Wardy in that Force India / Racing Point / Aston Martin.
It is. Now I've had Stephen Burrows ask, can you explain the virtual safety car, please? How would you describe the virtual safety car?
Well, when an incident, and it happens a lot on this track because this track is so large, and if the cars aren't directly on the track, it'll call a virtual safety car out, and that just pretty much locks everyone in their relative delta positions. Everyone has to slow down to a certain speed. The drivers have a little delta that comes up, and if it goes red, that means they're going too fast. They've got to keep that delta in the green, and it's generally just to pause the racing, even though the cars are still circulating and there's no safety car out there. And as soon as the car that's had a crash or whatever has been removed in real life or by the game, then the virtual safety car disengages and everyone is back up to full speed.
Yeah, Crofty on the F1, he likes to say it's like putting the slot cars all on the same track
at the same speed.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but there is on tighter tracks, some of the faster players or drivers, let's call them, can use it to advantage, if they can time the restart correctly. But it's a gamble, because if you're in the red delta when the virtual safety car goes off, you will get penalised.
You definitely will. There was definitely some controversy when it was first introduced a few years back, but I think that's all on the hush-hush now, or on the back burner, so to speak. There hasn't been much talk of it since.
No, I think the drivers have got used to it now, and they know the ins and outs.
Lukey D is just outside DRS zone of Wasp. He is on some newer medium tyres as we speak. Wasp's on 10-lap on medium, so he is closing him in. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. And D wants to get out of that 8th spot. Can he close him in? Through No Name, coming up to Puon now. He's pulling him in little by little. But Wasp, they've got the ERS setting at the same pace. So at the moment, it's all about who's the better driver and who's the smoother driver, because that'll be the faster one. Hemming's
Another
out.
safety car. Hammock's out.
Did
And that looks, yeah, same, up at the top of Radalon.
It's getting everyone, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Welcome to Spa.
Now, read in, let's have a look. We're on board with him. Should be able to see, look on the right-hand side. There it is, yep. On the outside. It's a wonderful, wonderful spot. I've done that same mistake before, so don't feel too bad if you've done it. But it's easy to do if you're just hoping that the car will stick, but sometimes it doesn't.
So I was just keeping an eye on bots now. Obviously we're under virtual safety car as we go back to racing now. But Bots has already crossed the line, so I can't really judge this lap that he's starting on now. But we'll keep an eye on Bots on his next lap. Bots really needs to throw in some wicked times. He can technically undercut BP. That would be the normal strategy in a 100% race, and that is why you would go on the softer tyre rather than the medium at the start.
Oh no, Lukey D, he's done the same thing. He's gone on the inside of the track though, and this one might actually call the safety car because he's sort of partially blocking the circuit.
He is indeed, but we only got local yellows at this stage.
Yes, we do. Here comes that's Ming.
Yeah, he's not on the racing line. He's out just outside. I think the game will clear it pretty quickly, but yeah. How many virtual safety cars have we had? 4?
Oh, we've had a few. This is the replay. Bang on the inside and on those wheels on the tethers pretty quickly, so big impact.
Well, we are down to 12 runners.
It happens sometimes. Spa can throw these sort of races up. We've had such clean racing, such expert driving all this season, but Spa, it's a challenge.
Bots with a purple sector 2 time just then.
He's coming off. He's charging hard. Maybe he's figured out that he can undercut BP, like you were saying.
You'd definitely be aware of it.
He's difference to BP's 28 seconds at the moment. So, look at that.
Purple, and that was a compromised lap because he crossed the line and then shortly after that the VC ended, so that wasn't a 100% lap.
Well, Bots, he is on a charge at the moment. 3-lap-old mediums, he's definitely one to look out for now. Mike's still coming through the field. He's just in behind him in 6th place. Warrior Wasp, and then it's Ming in 8th. He had a thing at Blanchimont earlier on. As attack, Denoz, Swatter and Breed in. 12 cars remaining of the 19. We've lost 7 already, and it's been a chaotic race up and down the field.
Definitely, we should have a cam next time on Radalon. Just permanently mount a cam somehow up there, so we can catch all this action when we miss it.
Yeah, we need someone to sit in there. I knew it was going to be a hot zone for things like this. It's just unfortunate I can't set anything up.
Yeah, I know. Extremely frustrating. But look, Spa is famous for that corner, and it is catching a lot of these boys out, you know.
And the reason it does is, like I've said, you hit the bottom, the car sort of sucks down to the bottom of the road, but then as you're rising up over the hill, the weight wants to shift up and lift the car, and if you're not set up correctly, it can bite, and it's done that to a few already. Bush Chooks into the pit lane.
Pulling the trigger now, first one out of the mediums, pull the trigger in a legitimate pit stop now. So let's see where this feeds Bush Chook out. Got a feeling he's going to come out in front of Ming, but will he get in front of Warrior Wasp? That's what will be interesting. Mike will get around him. Wasp is now coming out of the rear corner.
It's going to be a close one. As Chook gets back up to racing speed, he exits the pit lane. LaSauce behind him. He's behind Mike, ahead of Wasp.
Ahead of Wasp. Okay, so there's your sort of window for where you can see where the other guys could drop into Warty Chill and Crazy Kiwi. BP has such a commanding lead. He's fine. He'll drop in. His main mission is to make sure that when he pits, he's ahead of Bots. But Bots was on a
big
chart.
deep move from Denoz. I don't know if he missed his braking point, but he's decided to slice off into the pit lane too.
Just looking at BP's time now as he's coming in. BP might pull the trigger here and pit on this lap too.
Yeah, he's an enigma wrapped in a puzzle sometimes. Sometimes he runs long, sometimes he does the predicted stops, but it's impossible to predict with him. Let's see what he does. No, he's going to go on. So another lap here for BP V8, the championship leader.
I wonder if he's getting spotted by Hawks at the moment, telling him where the gaps are.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea if he's doing that. Let's have a look.
We got a Haas there going around in turn 1.
That will look good. Daniels falls to the back of the grid now. He's on the soft tyre, so he will have the quicker one, but he is behind Breeden now.
Okay, we've got the Racing Point and the Red Bull both pitting at the same time. This will be a race in the pits now. Kiwi with a mega stop, dude. That was super fast.
It was, wasn't it? Look at that gap he's pulled on Wardy Chill there, and they come out back up to racing pace. And Mike is coming round, but he's going to be beaten by only one of them.
Only one of them, yeah.
Kiwi got ahead. Jack Arms, thank you for hitting the like button there tonight. And thanks for your support in this race, round 6 race here at Spa. But yeah, Mike, he did beat Wardy out of the pits, outside of La Source. He's got the DRS on Kiwi now, and we're waiting for this one to heat up in the final 7 laps to the end. Cameron, thank you as well for hitting the like button there tonight. Thanks to everyone that's done that. Fully appreciate the support you show. But some soft runners, Stephen Burrows has done the same thing. But this race continues.
Mike on 11 lap old soft tyres. He is, pushing this to extreme limits. The boys run full simulation damage. You can blow your tyres if you wear them out too much. Yes. That is a real thing. That can happen. So Mike now, let's see, he's coming through. He's still got relatively sort of decent pace, I guess. But in front of him, Crazy Kiwi is now pulling away quite comfortably. And you can see Wardy's now starting to really, hustle him in the on the back here. So he goes through Blanchimont straight. Mike's going to need to pull the trigger. He's going to need to pit. He can't stay out there. He's too slow.
He's losing a lot of time. Wardy's pulled in 2/10 just that straight alone. Into the bus stop chicane. And he gets really close to the side of him. And yeah, there
goes Mike.
Trigger pulled. 11 laps. That's a long time, but he had to try something, I guess.
So he could probably go on another set of softs. They are pulling out. Yep, he's got another set of softs. So he will go 2-stop Mike because of that contact. He had to fix a bit of damage. So he switched over from a 1-stop strategy to a 2-stop. Let's see where he feeds out. I'm pretty confident he'll be ahead of Ming. Yes he will. So, he's now, on the level playing field with the guys ahead of him, but in saying that, he is a solid 16 seconds behind Bushhook in 5th.
He certainly is, and at the moment, the top 5 looking pretty strong. The strongest of them, BP V8. 15 lap old mediums, we're still waiting for him to come in. I don't know what he's waiting for, but surely this is his lap. Surely,
yeah, he'd need to, yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be in as extreme a scenario on tyre wear, but I'm just going to see if he doesn't pit. I'll tell you what his lap time is. And he's not pitting again.
All right, well, he's happy with it. And thank you very much, Stephen, for coming in and having a watch. BP's gone fastest.
Fastest, yeah. Oh, my God. Just call him Lewis Hamilton. Crying out softly.
He throws it in our faces, doesn't he? We think he's
unbelievable
at the end of his tyre life, and he still finds more to get out of it.
Well, he's definitely got the car, dialed in really well. Just looking at that going through El Rouge and Radelon, that car's sweet. It's, wherever he wants to point it, the car's doing what it's told. The balance looks, particularly good. So, and we know the BP can look after his tyres. So, should we be surprised?
No, probably not. He's continually improved that to us through this season. So, Yeah, I shouldn't be too surprised, but it's still a fantastic. I'm in awe sometimes of the pace he finds at the times he finds it.
Yeah, definitely. He's really got his head around the F1 game from Codemasters.
This one is for the Swatter gang. We're on board with your man. He's down in 10th place at the moment, unfortunately.
In the points, though. In the points.
He is. Into the bus stop. Let's see how he navigates this one. No, not too bad at all. He's done. That car looks okay at the moment. So we'll let him be. Denos has fallen to 12th. We've lost 7 drivers. Pretty much all at the top of Radion. But BP still leading. 30 seconds the lead. He's still pulling out time on bots. And fastest lap, last lap. We're waiting for him to take the trigger and go into the pit lane. And it's finally time.
Yeah.
Wow. His tyres are going to be almost new when he crosses that finish line.
So we can assume that he will get another fastest lap.
Oh, it's in the books, surely. I mean, you can bet your life savings on it that he will.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bots just didn't have the ultimate pace there on that strategy of his. He was going good on that when he came out on his medium, but just couldn't come close to matching the kind of pace from this man here. Well, we're on the Ferrari now, but from BP. But, you know, it's been a domination from BP this season. I'm going to crunch the numbers in a little while, but I think that Bots, if he comes second, the championship mathematically will go down to the wire in the final race at Monza, Ferrari homeland.
Yes, that will be a fun... Oh, Bots is out.
Oh, Bots is retired. That's it.
Radion.
At Radion, championship done.
Well, BP, yeah, he doesn't even need to finish this race, I don't think.
No. Oh my word, just as we were talking about it.
So, wow. Commentator's curse is a real
my God.
There is his teammate outside Radion. And Mike will slot up into 5th place. I don't think that's going to bring out... That's just local yellows. So I think this race is going to continue. But, yeah, wow. We've seen some real upsets tonight.
Well, you know, all I can say... One man's peril is another man's fortune, and Wardy Chill is going to inherit 3rd place on the podium. Bush took 4.5 seconds behind him. I think at this stage, to me, I think Wardy's looking pretty safe as long as he doesn't drop it either. And if anything, it looks like Wardy's catching the Red Bull in front of him, a Crazy Kiwi.
We'll keep an eye on that interval. At the moment, just under 2 seconds. We're watching Wasp. He's within 5/10 of Azatak. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. Wasp in 8th place at the moment. He's got the soft tyres. He's racing against Azatak in the medium, so you would expect Wasp to get him, but Azatak's putting up a decent fight here as we hit through Puon now and coming up into 13 and then Campus. So Wasp needs to set him up through this section, and then maybe he'll be able to get him down that back straight and into Blanchimont. Breeding's gone. We've lost Breeding. I think Radion as well. So
yes, another one. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 at least that have been caught out by Radion today. 7 drivers at least.
The track must be changing temperature or something.
It's definitely to what I'm not 100% because I don't have the data like the drivers do, but from the scenery, it's getting hotter. So as it gets hotter, it's not good for the tyres. You prefer a colder track with decent ambient temperature will produce better grip. As the track gets hotter, it gets slipperier.
Yeah, and I think some of them are getting caught out this late stage. There's only a few laps to go. Wasp gets over the top nicely. Azatak got a decent run on him there. Almost built that gap up to a second. DRS though for Wasp. He will pull in the Williams, but it won't be enough this time round as we break for turn 5. So that battle will continue on.
No, it's looking good, Warrior. Wasp has some pace here, as it was flying earlier on, but obviously that tyre change now, Warrior. Younger, fresher tyres and the softer compound tyre as well. So, you know, Warrior's going to really I'm sorry, Az is going to really need to defend hard, but I just don't think that there's nothing you can do after Radalon and going down the Camel Straight.
You're right.
You're defenceless. You know.
Are. Antonio is saying everyone running gets a point now. They do. They've got to finish. Oh no, they'll be right if they run.
Yeah, they will all get a point now.
They've run 75% distance.
That's right. They're classified now from here on in.
So from here, it's all about improving that spot. And Wasp he's got that mission, but can he perform it? Here we go. He's got a bit of a good run on Attack. At the Blanchimont they come. He's had to lift a little. It's not going to fare well for him. Braking hard into the bus stop they go. Side by side now with the Williams. But Wasp runs a little deep. And it's going to put him on the back end of Attack again. So he's in the spray. Still needs to get that overtake sorted though. Into La Source though for lap 20. We've only got 3 to go, including the one we're on.
Indeed, and here we go as they're going a bit far behind here, 0.7. But if he gets a good run through here, doesn't lift. He had a bit of a wobble there. I don't know if he lifted.
Yeah, it was a bit sketchy, wasn't it? I think they are starting to struggle with the temperature changing on them. Wasp has DRS on Attack, but again, still can't get it done up into turn 5.
Yeah, I think also I noticed he backed his ERS off as he got over at Radalon, so he knew that he made a sort of twitch little mistake. And that's the thing with Radalon and El Rouge in an F1 car, you have to take it flat out. But if you get your line slightly wrong, well, just ask the 7 drivers who are now slightly greyed out on our leaderboard.
Yeah, they're no longer competing, and one of them is Bots, who was he was the only one that could really stem the flow of BP's winning run, and well, he's out of it now. So that's it.
Yeah.
BP
will be crowned champion at the end of this race.
He will be. Wasp though having another run at him at Attack. Attack now searching for the best line. Wasp though wants that extra speed and pace. He's got his ERS up to 4, braking hard, and he's not as close as he was last time, but into the detection zone. He'll be close enough to get DRS. Here we go. He gets it activated. Attack got a fantastical run. That was stuff you hear in fairy tales. How quick he got away from him there.
Yeah, I think Warrior missed the apex of the second bus stop, and that put him very, very wide and compromised his exit.
Attack now behind Denos, who's at the back. Oh no, he's hit Denos, and he's run off into the runoff, and he's done. Attack's out of this one. He got caught out by a slow-moving Denos.
Oh my word, a back marker. I saw the blue flags. I was focused on Warrior, and yeah, he's gone.
Watch this replay. You will see what was happening as we went on board with Attack, because I saw him catching a car, and it was Denos. And as we hit the top, he's just attacked him too quickly. It surprised him. It was a big shunt.
That was a big shunt. That's actually very reminiscent of that accident last year in the F2s. You know that?
It was very eerily
very
close.
Reminiscent.
But that's ended Attack's night.
He was having such a great run there, for a great result, dude. He was driving, I think the best that I've seen him in a long time, driving. Wow, to get caught out by a backmarker like that, geez, that's gonna cut deep.
It will. But we're on the final lap of this one. It's been a 22-lap epic, and BP is he's led every single lap of this one. I think he's won now 6 in a row. I don't want to call it too soon, because Commentator's curse tonight has been dreadful. But say it as it is. It's been total domination from BP this season. Complete domination. I've personally, I've cleaned up as many races as BP has. He's basically out Schumacher even me. Yeah, he's done well. There he goes. Look at that. He's trying to get the fastest lap. He's just done
as he always does.
And watch this, he's going to go for the fastest lap on the last lap of the race. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ticks that off his list. Coming up the bus stop now. Well, he brakes so much later than everyone else. And he gets in there, exiting the start-finish line is the only thing ahead of him. There's the checkered flag, and fastest lap from him, a 1:4.57. We were seeing those times in qualifying.
My word.
And
there
Kiwi,
you go.
Well, he's going to take second. We're going to have two different drivers on the on
Yeah,
the
I was
podium.
just about to say that. Probably one of Kiwi's best results, I think. And Wardichill, we have seen Wardichill on the podium once or twice before, but definitely a great mix up on the podium for interviews after this. Great to see.
Chook will take fourth, and Mike, he's inside the top five still. He'll take fifth. He's a good recovery drive there from him.
Yeah, a consolation result there. He done the best of the situation at hand. A little bit disappointing that his teammate dropped it at Radalon, so Ferrari would not be happy with the Belgium Grand Prix. But they've got next week to look forward to. I know the championship now is all wrapped up for BP, but I think we have to check the numbers, but I think the Constructors' Championship is still up for grabs between Mercedes-Benz and Ferrari.
It's close, and with only one of each getting points tonight, it's still going to be very close. But this was a time for Ferrari to sort of edge that lead. There's only 25 in it.
That's right. With Hawks DNFing early, it was a prime opportunity for Ferrari to, gain some points on Mercedes-Benz, but it wasn't to be, with Bottas also hauling foul to Radalon.
There's your podium. BP taking the top spot, Kiwi second, and Wardichill third place. It's the first time we haven't seen Mercedes and Ferrari on the top spot this season 6.
Yes, it's a great podium today. Great podium. It was a good race there, and it was a race of attrition, really, more than I actually expected. I knew that Spa will always throw some spanners in there. Usually with the weather it does that, but wow, Radalon really proved to sort the men out from the boys, didn't it today, Josh?
It did. There's only 9 classified. Azatak is classified, but DNF's next to Azatak, Bots, Breeden, Lukey, Banana, HRT, Major Dan, Schnell, Hawks, and Saints. Just a lot of casualties there at Radion. It was it just caught them out early on and late in the game. It was the place to beat.
That's right. I mean, and this is why people talk about those two sequence of corners to be some of the greatest corners in the entire world. And now you know why.
Yes. Give it a go yourself if you've got the game at home. Put it on a full distance and try and attack it flat out with a full tank of fuel. It's going to be a hard task. Now, we will have interviews, so stick around for those if you want to do those. Otherwise, that ends the main broadcast portion. So thanks again to everyone that has popped along tonight and supported. Hit like, subscribed, and all that good stuff. We do this every Friday night. Don't forget, we've got the F2s on Thursdays. And coming up on Sunday, we've got round 1 of the GT Pro Series on ACC. And don't forget, stream calendar on the website, demo1garage.com. And you can find when we're streaming and what next in your local time. So make sure you check that out. No worries to Antonio. Enjoyed the race. Thanks for popping along for the whole thing. It's been awesome. Peter van der Spol has followed. Thank you very much for doing that. And you've actually subscribed. So welcome to the team. It is good to have you along. Hit that notification button too, so don't miss a thing. We're waiting for the grid, are we? Oh, here they are.
Yep, they're here.
BP. Again, dominant performance from you, my friend, and a fastest lap on the last lap again. Well done.
Oh, it's sent to be a survival of the fittest out there. Reading the bottom of the screens. I think it's Radion, is it? Caught a few people out.
Yep, that's the one. It was catching out. Was the track changing temp at the end there? Was it heating up, we were thinking?
No, well, not for me. I think the track's a bit colder than what I thought it was going to be. So the tyre, my mediums weren't exactly probably in their prime temperature, but the softs are okay. But it's probably a little bit colder than what it normally is.
All right. Well, champion BP. It's pretty much done. It took you a couple of seasons, but my word, when you've done it in total domination. 6 wins from 6 races in season 6.
And the number 6 car.
Damn.
Hope that's not an omen for you at Monza next week. But nevertheless, an absolute dominant performance. And I always knew that you were very, very fast in the European leg of the F1 circus. So congratulations. You've done really well. Was it always? Were you hoping that Hawks could stay in second place and give you a bit of a buffer with against the Ferraris, or did you Merc boys feel that you had them completely covered today?
No, I wouldn't say completely covered. Of course, it would be great to have the car in between. Like, you'd always want that, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So make do with what's left, and ends up losing a Ferrari at the end. So it's just one apiece.
Indeed.
Did you hear what happened to Hawks on the radio?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, just made a move, and it's the first left-hander of the second sector, I think.
Yeah, at the end
just
of
lost
Camel Straight. That little
yeah. I think just lost the radio. I was trying to make a move. I think I didn't see it.
Well, a couple of laps later, Mike pitted for front wing damage, and we didn't catch it on the stream, either one of us, but they were in close contact when Hawks came off, so we're assuming that they made contact.
I asked that, and the Hawks said, yeah, but so they must have, and it's like, oh, okay. Did Mike go all the way at the end on those set of softs he pitted for?
No, he did do he turned it to a 2-stop strategy and pitted again on the soft, but he took it to the absolute. I think he pitted on lap 12, dude, on the soft tyre.
Right, yeah.
Well done, man. I know you've been waiting for that championship win, and
that elusive championship.
Season 4 cut short, and season 5, I guess, trying too hard.
Well, you finally achieved it, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
And then there's Kiwi. Second place. Bang, bang. Well done, man.
We had good qualifying, but we had no shot catching DP in this one.
I don't know if you heard him, Zen. You're very quiet for me, Kiwi.
Yeah, I could just hear him. I can just hear him.
Yeah, I'm only using my tablet. I don't got a microphone from my phone.
So this is actually the first time you've been on the podium for an interview, Kiwi.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that alone, dude. Well, I must say, look, both Red Bulls seem to have the Ferraris matched, and at times I felt that you were actually probably even quicker than both Ferraris. How did you feel in the race, that your pace relative to the Ferraris? I mean, you said that there was no point trying to catch the Merc out there in front, but you look like you had Bots covered, to a certain extent.
I felt Bots had a bit more pace. I felt he was trying to back up the pack a bit so Mike could catch under the VSCs, because most of the times on Delta, we're like 3 seconds down on the Delta.
Oh, wow. What a sly move.
They nearly caught me out, those VSCs. Delta.
Wow. And Wardy Chill, third place. You got to be pretty happy with that. You had pretty good pace out there, and if anything, I think for us watching, you definitely caught Bushchook in that second phase of the race, and earlier on, I think that you sort of used your tyres a bit better than Bushchook did in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I think I conserved my tyres quite well, the mediums, especially with all the virtual safety cars and the chaos that was going on up the front of the pack. So yeah, definitely later in the stint was able to push with those a lot more. I was even catching Kiwi for a bit, but I think he had me pegged at a good gap. So I think catching him was just a bit too much tonight.
Interesting. And how did you, when you were battling with Bushchook, did you find it difficult to follow him through El Rouge and Radalon?
Absolutely, it's terrifying. I didn't have a lot of practice prior, and I think I did about 15 laps in the practice prior to the race, and I crashed on 8 of those laps at Eau Rouge, so it was very nerve-wracking.
Oh, wow. Well, you survived, and not only did you survive, done well and claimed a podium, so congratulations, my friend.
No, thanks, yeah. It's nice
Did either of you or Kiwi see the incident with Hawks?
I think it was under one of the VSCs. I looked back and I think Mike ran into the back of Bush.
Oh, right.
I didn't see it. I just saw him parked up. But to be honest, further on in the pack, I think might have been Andrew, HRT, got kind of held up and caught out and ran up the back of someone as well, as everyone was slowing up for the restarts.
I was
going to say we must have run out of VSCs by the end.
Well, that's what we questioned that in the comms booth. That's for sure.
Yeah, we must have run over the hard cap, and I'm surprised we didn't get one full safety car. Like I'm glad we didn't, because it would have ruined me in a way.
Well, because most of the accidents happened at Radalon, everyone ended up well off the track, and actually the only one that ended up on the track, do you remember, Josh, who that was? But we were questioning, they must have run out of safety cars.
Was it Lukey?
That's right, yeah. I think it was Lukey in the Haas, and he ended up, he lost it at El Rouge before he got to Radalon and ended up on the inside and then rolled over onto the track, but he was technically still off the racing line. But it wasn't even a VSC at that station, it was just race on with 2 laps to go, I think.
I think we just ran out of the hard cap.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, thanks guys. We've got Monza next week, so one more race in the season, then we on to season 7. So
yeah, and quick one for you, BP. Are you going to let the Ferraris win at Monza?
No, don't do that.
Let the racing. Well, it's a Monza straight line speed Ferrari. It all adds up, and I suppose it would be rude not to let them have that.
Oh, surely you got to make a race of it. Make them earn it, though. Make them earn it.
No. I'll be racing like any other week. If they get ahead of me, then that's good. If they don't, that's also good.
Well, the championship is locked down. You are season 6 champion. Congratulations. It was a great race. Congratulations to all the guys that finished the race, because I think that is an achievement in its own right after
survival of the fittest.
Exactly. I mean, it was, in a way, sort of reminiscent of Baku.
No, don't remind me.
It does. It does. Yeah, I think it set your mind back to that one. But yeah, thank you very much for having a chat on the podium. It's good to have some new voices to talk to.
Yeah, good job, Keo. You're finally getting the sand out of the bags and getting on the podium. and also, really good job, Wardy.
Yep.
Cheers, guys.
Yes, indeed. Well, that ends everything. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, Peter did say how many races. We've got 1 left in the season. Then we're on to another new 7-race season. So the full 21 over 3 seasons. And we'll add up the points and get a champion out of that. But
yeah,
Mike gets the first season. BP's got the second. Will we have a new winner for third? It could be anyone. So you're going to have to hang around to find out. But what a race tonight we had. It was chaotic. It was crazy. It had everything. It was Spa. That's why we love it.
Exactly. And we had all that and not one drop of rain.
No, it was a dry track. I can't imagine what it would have happened if we had
water
come.
Exactly.
But anyway, we'll end it there. So thank you everyone that has popped in tonight and watched, and everyone that has hit the like button, our new subscribers and followers. Thank you very much for your support. But we'll see you Sunday for the GT Pro Series. Don't forget to check out the website, Demo 1 Garage, and the stream calendar there. But until next time, good night, and we'll see you Sunday for the FNL1 eSports GT Pro Series.
Go hard or go home, my friends.
That is it. Good night.